Hey there, welcome to the channel. This is Caffeinicus, and I have to admit, I was having difficulties picking today's video considering the major changes impacting captain skills as of tomorrow's patch, potentially making any older videos kind of invalid. In the end though, I settled on the game in the Dmitri Donskoi, the tier 9 Tech Tree Russian cruiser that I'm currently grinding. The Donskoi hasn't been an easy ship for me to do damage in, to be honest, and we'll talk about that as we go through the video. This is a tier 9 maximum game on the map Sleeping Giant. There are 6 tier 9 battleships and a carrier, which makes me feel like I have to be super careful since every one of those battleships will overmatch my armor. There is a consolation in that the Asashio torpedoes pose no threat to me, but in the heat of the battle, which you'll see later, I actually completely forgot that little bit of good news. Anyway, let's talk about some of the strengths and weaknesses of the Donskoi as I move into position. Ideally, I'd like to get behind the island at a D7, D8 so that I can use it for cover, but with a carrier in play that can still be a pretty dangerous spot to sit in. The Donskoi, like the other high-tier Russian cruisers, has a 12-kilometer radar range, but unlike the newer Russian cruiser line, this radar still has a 25-second duration. This means you can get 2, sometimes even 3 salvos off on your target while your radar is active. It also has 12 180mm guns in 4 triple turrets, with a 17.8 kilometer range and an 11-second reload. Being 180mm guns, your maximum HE penetration is only 30mm, and you'll need IFHE to get through that magical 32mm armor threshold. And unfortunately, I don't have that on my captain yet in this game. The AP damage is pretty good at 4400 max, and the shell velocity and accuracy feels really comfortable to use. You'll have to note though that the shells don't arc as highly as the US cruiser guns do, so you have to be more picky with the islands you use for cover in order to get those shells over them. In addition, the Donskoi is really fast for a cruiser at 36 knots base or 37.8 knots with a speed glide. Just watch out for that turning circle though, as this ship really likes to take long, nice leisurely turns. And finally, the Donskoi also has somewhat usable 8-kilometer range torpedoes. And I say somewhat usable primarily because of the ship's terrible concealment. Which brings us to the weaknesses of this ship. The Donskoi has horrible concealment for a cruiser at 12.6 kilometers with captain skills, mods, and camouflage. You also can't really take advantage of smoke firing, for example if a friendly ship smokes you up, as this ship has a 9.7 kilometer range while firing in smoke. And carriers can also take advantage of a 400-meter differential between your air spotting range of 6.2 kilometers and your AA gun range of 5.8, so they can keep you lit without reprisal. The armor profile isn't great with 25mm armor plating and a 27mm deck, meaning anything with 380mm guns or larger will penetrate frontally no matter what you do, unless they hit that little strip of armor at your waterline in your bow. 400mm and higher caliber guns will pretty much eat your lunch. So what does this mean? Well, it pretty much means that if you're caught out in the open in this ship, you're pretty much toast. And I think that's part of the reason why I'm having trouble with the Donskoi, because it means playing patiently, playing smart, knowing the difference between when to push and when to, kind of hold back and disappear. And that's why I'm not doing as much damage as I would like in this ship, to be honest. But anyway, where are we in this game? I've gotten to my island friend, and we're taking shots at any targets lit up by our team. The Rune has been sailing broadside of there, and pretty slowly too, but I haven't really been able to punish him as much as I would like. I'm chipping him down with AP, doing about 4k damage a salvo, calling in support from our friends, and we finally get him down, which is great. So that's our first kill. Now we switch over to the Georgia. We're changing back to HE since he's angled. And we're gonna try to take a few salvos at him. Again, making sure that I have the island between me and anyone who's potentially spotting me to stay safe while I use my guns. The Georgia does disappear though, so I'm gonna switch over to the Groza here in the middle. I have to be careful though, as I want to make sure that I don't back up out of cover and get spotted by the Georgia who has just disappeared. Our Lo Yang also looks like he might be in trouble soon, as the Groza has Hydro. Let's see, my shells do go over the island, but I miss. Yep, the Lo Yang is definitely in trouble. He looks like he's been hydroed. And I do shoot at the Groza trying to take him out and help our Lo Yang. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to save him here. Yep, just a little bit too late. My salvo takes out the Groza, but not before our Lo Yang goes down. Alright, the Georgia is visible again, and it looks like he's pushing in, so I'm going to move just a little bit forward to keep that island in between me and him, and I'm going to switch back to HE. Now, without IFHE, I am actually going to shatter quite a few of these shells as you saw there. So I need to rely on superstructure hits and fires in order to do any damage here. See, that's 4 shatters and only 3 penetrations. Let's see if this one does a little bit better. Yeah, that's not bad. That's finally a decent salvo with 8 penetrations. And you can also see the accuracy of the guns on the Donskoi here. That was 10 out of 12 hits. I do switch to AP as he gives me a nice broadside target, and we do take him out. Well, this side now seems clear, but we are still down on caps, and the enemy still does have a destroyer in the form of that Asashio. So I'm going to move up just a little bit and see what I can do to help our team. Initially, I think maybe I should head to the decap, and so I do angle my ship in. I'm also hoping our Hizen back here will push up with us and provide a little bit of tankiness and that support fire. The enemy Shores and New Orleans seem to be heading towards the middle, and that's when the Minnesota pops up. And I don't want anything to do with him or the John Bart over there shooting at me, so I slow down again and use island cover to keep firing while undetected. So I'm just going to turn my ship and make sure that I keep these islands between me and the Minnesota and the Jean Bart. And the islands are low islands, so I am able to keep firing over them. I get a nice good fire here, which the Minnesota immediately repairs. So we're just gonna keep shooting as much as we can and doing damage and supporting our team. The Hizen isn't really pushing up though, so I'm pinging him and asking him for support. I get another fire, which is really lucky because you can see the number of shatters that I'm getting against the Minnesota's armor. It also looks like the Minnesota is pushing up, so I move forward just a little bit more to make sure that I keep undetected here. And who put that pagoda in the way though? Come on. Please remove pagoda. Pagoda is OP. So we're trying to make sure we can keep vision of that Minnesota and figure out where he's going, whether he's pushing forward or moving back. It looks like though he's no longer pushing forward, so we can stop here once again and keep firing. It's fortunately again nice little short islands that we can use. I get another fire. I'm getting really lucky with my fires on this Minnesota, because otherwise I would be shattering a lot of my shells, as you can see. The carrier is also coming in with a torpedo strike. Looks like the Minnesota takes one torpedo, and we get yet another fire, and we finally get him down. So that's really good for us. At this point, I think I probably should go ahead and move up. We've got 3 battleships here against the Jean Bart, so I think that they can probably deal with that Jean Bart. And I'm going to move towards the middle to take out the New Orleans. So I'm just going to push forward here again, use that speed of the Donskoi to reposition. I do use my radar here to see if there's anybody else other than the New Orleans. But no, it looks like just the one ship, so I should be able to just push up here and take him out with one salvo as I clear the island. My shells are in the air, so this should take out the New Orleans, but the Surrey gets there before I do. And there's a Shachors that moved away from the eastern flank a few moments ago, so this should be an easy fight, or at least that's what I think. The problem is, though, I think this is also where I start bumbling around a little bit. So the Shachors is a tier 7 cruiser, and I have HE loaded here. Even though he starts turning to give me broadside, he's also shooting AP at me. And here really what I should do is just switch to AP and take him out, because my guns will definitely penetrate the Shachors for the broadside. While I can use my armor to tank against his guns. I also noticed the Asashio over there, and the CP now, the Asashio is torpedoing me. And here again I forget that I really can't take damage from the Asashio's torpedoes, because these deep water torpedoes will only do damage to battleships and carriers. Again, moment of battle here, and I totally completely forget. And I'm again still shooting HE, even though I could have taken that Shores out with AP a long time ago. So I take torpedoes from the carrier. I'm kind of distracted by the destroyer when I shouldn't be. And I'm just letting this Shores farm me with his AP salvo. But I should be able to get him here with my salvo. Nope, I don't. Take more torpedoes. Alright, let's try this again, see if we can get him. He only has about 1500 health left, so this salvo should take him out. But the Jean Bart does it for me. But that's okay, he's gone, I'm still alive. And now I can push in against the destroyer. I take yet another huge salvo from rocket planes by the Parsifal. Oh look, the Asashio is actually stationary, and I have him visible with my radar. And my salvo from my frontal guns does one hit. Guns, I take it back. I said you were accurate. The second salvo actually does take out the Asashio. And here is the Parsifal, which is the only ship left. So I switch to AP in a second here, thinking that I can actually get through his broadside and see if I can get some citadel hits. But it doesn't look like, maybe from this angle, or just the areas that I'm shooting on the Parsifal, it doesn't look like I can actually get through his broadside. Take a couple more torpedoes. I'm getting 11 shatters out of 12 hits, so yeah, it's either me aiming incorrectly or just the angles aren't working. My torpedoes of course miss, and I keep on peppering him with AP. Now that's finally 3800 damage. I'm also taking out a lot of his planes just as they launch. And can we get the Parsifal? Yes we do, for our 6th kill of a very messily played game. So let's take a look at the post-game results. We did 130,000 damage and got 6 kills for Kraken Unleashed. 290 hits, 11 fires, which is okay. I really think I could have played the last few minutes of this game a lot better though. Our base XP was 2184, which was top on the team, and really good play by that enemy Shichors. I mean, he certainly showed me a thing or two. Our accuracy in this game was okay, 290 hits out of just over 600 shells fired, with about even damage between AP and HE, plus about 25k from fires. We hit 8 chips and killed 6. And finally, for anyone interested, here are the equipment and captain skills I use for the Donskoi. Main armament mod 1, engine room protection, and mostly that's because I don't have an extra surveillance radar mod 1. Aiming systems mod 1, steering gears, concealment systems, and main battery mod 3. For captain skills, my captain is really under par for tier 9, but I have priority target, adrenaline rush, superintendent, and concealment expertise. I really think you'll need IFHE and demolition expert to get the ship going, especially against heavily armored targets like battleships. But with the captain skills revamp going live with the latest patch, I'll have to test it out and see what works or if anything changes. So the Dmitri Donskoi, it's a decent cruiser, but I find it's really hard to get those super high damage games, like I said. Positioning is key in this ship, knowing the map and which islands you can use for cover while still firing effectively, and also definitely not getting caught out and focused. But that's pretty much cruiser gameplay in a nutshell. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Please feel free to hit the like button or subscribe to the channel if you're so inclined, and please join me again next week for more World of Warships videos. Thank you for watching, and take care.